Everybody, how is it going? I am Lucas and welcome to another episode of Amps on the Axe-Fx 3. Today we are going to be checking out the boutique Hook Captain 34, or as it's known in the Axe-Fx itself, the Captain Hook. And I think Captain Hook is a better sounding name for it personally. But we are going to be looking at all the different modes of this amp, and make sure you are subscribed because we are going to be going through all of the different amps in the Axe-Fx 3. So let's take a look at this amp real quick. Now before we do, IR wise, we're using Leon Todd's Warehouse Guitar Speaker Input Mix number 2. You can get that free from Leon's channel. I'll link that so you can check it out. And this amp, we have every possible thing modeled from it. So we have the clean channel, which is 1A. We have 1B. We have 2A. And so if you come back to it, there's different parameters. You have the EQ bypass and the boost on for this one. So for channel 2, that's the distortion channels. You have the edge switch, and it messes with the mids. So you have edge on and off on channel 2, and then for 3A you have edge on and off for that one. And what you heard in the opening, that was actually with this one right here, this patch right here, and I had a little bit of drive going on it. So let's actually read a little bit about the amp. So this amp is made by Hook. It's called the Captain 34, and it's their flagship amp. It was actually designed, I'm going to butcher these names, so bear with me. It was designed or started by Leendert Haskem from Holland. These are some Dutch people here. He's one of Holland's finest guitar players, and it's built by Van der Haar. Van der Haar. It sounds like one name, but that's not a full guy's name. Sorry. So it's a 100 watt EL34 based amp, and it borrows a lot of its flavor from a Marshall. If you come over here to the, this is the amp wiki, Axe-Fx amp wiki I'm looking at right here. And all the information that we're going to be getting from this amp is going to be coming from EX Amp Guide. Going to link that in the description down below. So these are the different channels that we went through, and I talked about cab. We're basically kind of using the same thing, but we're using a 412. There's something Cliff commented right here that I wanted to highlight. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Yes, right here. So the Captain Hook's thing is that's basically a JCM with a cathode follower replaced by a MU follower. So it doesn't compress and distort like a cathode follower does. This results in the amp sounding more open and smoother, which it actually really does. That definitely makes a difference. So that's kind of the thing. It's like a Plexi JCM 800 Marshall based amp. The channel 1 is kind of like a Fender type of sound, but it sounds really good. It's nice and it's very, very clean. Oh, like I was saying before, for 1A and 1B, it's with the EQ bypass on and off. We're definitely going to look at that. And if you come down here, and I want you to listen to these demos of it right here. This one sounds fantastic. And then there's one with like a P90 demo on it too that sounds really good. So if you want to hear what the real life amp sounds like, come check it out here, because this amp is pretty much becoming one of my favorite amps in the Axe-Fx. It's so good for that like John Mayer Tri type of tone. It's very fantastic for it. So let's dive in and look at the different modes. So the clean channel, we're looking at 1A. Everything I'm going to be playing is for my G&L Legacy Special Strat. I have DeMarzo injectors in the neck and the bridge, and I have an Area 68 in the middle. So what you heard was on the middle pickup in the beginning. So I'm going to move to my neck pickup for right now, my neck injector, and let's check out the clean channel. Clean channel sounds great. So one is the EQ bypass and the boost is off for this. Setting it up, everything was from Authentic, dialed it to taste. I made it kind of bright. There's something you really have to know before you go in when you design it, when you're making patches, or excuse me, when you're making presets with this amp. It's extremely dark. It does really, really well if you use like single coil bright type of sounds. I tried it on my Tele and it was very hard for me on my Tele Deluxe to get a good tone that I liked out of it. So keep that in mind. If you come to the speaker cab, what I actually did in here was I rolled off. Did I roll off some of the, where is it? This is my proximity and smoothing right there. So yeah, mess with your low cut, roll it off for all of them, and it's gonna, if you roll it off in the cab section, it'll help you whenever you're designing it, because it'll do it through all the different parts. This is gonna be for 1A. This is with the EQ bypass, and then when you come to 1B, okay, this is very important. Cliff actually just did this as a firmware. What am I on? It's 12.6. He just officially did it. So the EQ bypass is on, and so is the boost, so there's no EQ. So he made it very authentic. If you come to Ideal, yeah, they're still in Ideal. I was messing with it in Ideal. They don't actually work. So you can mess with them all you want, but they don't work. And the mid knob kind of just acts like a volume knob. Let's see if it's still like that. Yeah, so it acts like a volume knob. So watch, I'm gonna mess with the bass and treble, and they have no use. So as you can see, you have the EQ and the bypass. The boost and the bypass is on. It's just how it's modeled. I don't think I could ever use 1B. Personally, I don't know. Not having an EQ in it, and it's weird, and I really like 1A. So let's move on to 2A. Like I was saying before, the edge button knob, what's the button? I think it's a button on the actual amp. It messes with the mid-range, so it gives you a little bit different feel in the mid-range. 2A, this is going to be, it's the distorted tone. Let's go for the neck pickup for that. I scooped a little bit of mids. This is a very midsy amp, like most Marshalls are. I scooped some mids out of it, dialed everything in from Authentic. I am not using a drive. Let's see what it sounds like. Very smooth sounding, a very light, type of distortion. It sounds so great. Let's lower it down a little bit. Let's put the volume up a little bit. Watch, I'm going to push the input drive, and I'm going to let you see what it sounds like when it's wide open. As you can see, the harder you push the input knob, that low end and that mid-range starts to come up, and I flipped all the way to my bridge pickup, which is pretty bright and has a lot of low end cut in it, and it was still pretty bassy. 2A with edge off is a good one. I'm more of an edge on type of person when it comes to the Captain Hook, the Hook Capt, and this can be 2B. Let's see what 2B sounds like. EQ wise, let's see. I need to go back for a second. Let's go back while we're in EQ. I'm gonna do EQ on and off for 2A, and then I'll flip over to 2B and let you hear what that sounds like. I've been switching to my middle pickup a lot because I find for some reason this amp really responds to it really well. That's what I played in the intro. My neck pickup is very bassy and very thick, and I find this amp has a massive amount of thickness and bass already, so that's why I kind of put it in the middle. It kind of thins it out. So this is 3A with the switch off. It's kind of similarly dialed into a lot of the other channels that I had on here. So this is 3A with the edge switch off. And as you can see, all of the patches are sort of kind of dialed in the same. I have a lot of brightness, got some lows and some mids in it. I actually did not even touch the output EQ on here. Let's mess around with it and see what it sounds like. 3A sounds great. I mean, you could probably tweak it a little bit more. I find it with the edge switch off, it kind of scoops some of the mids out. It moves the mids around definitely, because 3A is my favorite one. See, all I did for 3A was I dropped a little bit of 500, and then I'll let you hear what it sounds like with it on and off. I really like this channel. I really like this amp. It sounds fantastic. It's so smooth and has this nice clarity to it. I don't know if it's my guitar or anything like that, but it interacts with it really well. 3B with the switch on, using my middle pickup. I really like it, and it sounds fantastic. So guys, enough about me and my opinions. What about you? Do you use the Hook Capt in your patches and your presets? Let me know your tips and tricks with it down in the comments down below. But as for me, I'm going to have to be out. Peace.